All right, today we're tackling something really powerful. This idea that heartbreak isn't just an ending, that it's actually a redirection. And if you've ever been through it, you know this feeling deep in your bones, right? On the outside, everything just keeps going. The world looks the same, sounds the same, but inside, it's chaos. It's just this deafening, roaring silence that no one else can hear.
But here's the thing about that noise. It's not just random static. It actually has a pattern. It's not about the things that were said or left unsaid. Nope, the noise comes from the questions, these relentless, looping questions that just start echoing in your head. And it usually starts with this one, right? What went wrong? You're just trying to find some logical reason, trying to pinpoint the exact moment it all fell apart. Like, if you could just find that one thing, the chaos would somehow make sense.
And then, almost always, the focus shifts. It turns inward, and it gets really personal. This one's not about the what anymore. It's about the who. It's a direct hit to your self-worth. And honestly, this is one of the toughest parts of that whole inner conversation.
And of course, there's this one, the one that just traps you in the past. It's the voice of regret, just replaying every single what-if scenario imaginable. That whole loop. What went wrong? Why wasn't I enough? What could I have done? That is the storm inside.
So, what if there was a way to step outside of that echo chamber? What if you could change the channel? That's what we're digging into next. A totally different way to see all this. A way to look at that pain not as some final judgment, but as a messenger. Okay, so this is really the heart of it all. The story we usually tell ourselves is pretty brutal, right? Heartbreak means rejection, and the pain feels like punishment for failing. But what if we flipped the script? What if heartbreak is actually redirection, and that pain, it's not punishment, it's just information? And that's the whole point, you see. The pain isn't meaningless. Far from it. Think of it like a very precise diagnostic tool. It's showing you exactly where things were off balance. It's highlighting where you gave way more than you got, where you bent yourself into a pretzel, where you kind of forgot who you were just to hold on to something. Okay, so if the pain is just information, then what exactly did we lose? What's the grief really about? This next part, well, it challenges the whole foundation of what we think we're grieving. And this is so important to get. Whatever it was that broke your heart, it didn't break your value. An event, no matter how painful, does not have the power to change your fundamental worth. A breakup is a thing that happened. Your value is a thing that is. They're not even on the same playing field. Now, this is a really powerful way to look at it. The idea that sometimes people leave, not to abandon you, but to return you to yourself. It's like their departure, as much as it hurts, removes this huge external distraction. It forces you to look inward again and reconnect with the one person you might have been ignoring, you. So, what was really lost? This slide gets right to it. Maybe it wasn't the person you lost. Maybe it wasn't even the future you imagined. Maybe what you lost was an illusion. And man, illusions are expensive. They cost you clarity. They cost you self-respect. They cost you a fortune in emotional energy just to keep them afloat. All right, so we've called out the illusion. Now what? Where do we go from here? This brings us to the actual how, the practical steps for rebuilding. You know that instinct, right? That desperate need to chase them for an explanation, for that one last conversation that's supposed to make it all make sense. But real healing, it's an inside job. It really begins the second you stop asking someone else for your peace of mind, and you start looking for it within yourself. And let's be clear, this isn't about trying to forget. It's not about just wiping the slate clean. That's not how healing works. You don't move on by forgetting. You move on by understanding, by gaining a real, deep, and compassionate understanding of yourself and what this whole thing came to teach you. And that understanding, it really boils down to 3 key things. Number 1, getting it deep in your soul that real love should never, ever ask you to shrink. Number 2, seeing that effort without reciprocity, that's not devotion, it's just a draining imbalance. And number 3, the big one, accepting that your worth was never up for debate. It was never on the table to be negotiated by someone else. So when we talk about rebuilding, it's not a performance for social media. You know, it's not about getting a revenge body or posting all these "look how happy I am now" pictures. It's quiet. It's internal. It's work you do for an audience of one. You. The whole point is just to come back home to yourself.
So, where does all this lead? What's the end game of all this quiet rebuilding? What is the actual destination that this whole redirection has been pointing you to this entire time?
This slide just lays it out so perfectly. When you drop the blame game, you get your power back. When you decide against revenge, you keep your dignity intact. When you stop denying what happened, you can actually learn from it. And all of that together, that's what creates forward motion. That's how you start to rebuild who you are on your own terms.
It really comes down to this simple equation. As long as you're attached to the person, to the memory, to the what ifs, you're stuck. But the moment that attachment starts to dissolve, that is the exact moment real growth can finally begin.
And let's leave it with this powerful idea. It's okay to drift for a bit. You have to. Feeling lost after the storm is part of the process. But the whole point of this redirection, the whole purpose, is to eventually stop drifting and start driving. It's a call to take the wheel of your own life, to take all that information the pain gave you and consciously, deliberately drive yourself somewhere new.